I'm Charles Roth, and I'm continuing my case for Chapter 6, Problems 1 through 4. So the Reagan Company paid out dividends in the amount of $390,000. That was shown in the problem here of $195,000, and there was two owners, so that was multiplied by 2. We have 125,000 shares here, and we multiply that by 2, and we get 250,000. So then here we have $3.65 earnings per share for last year. So then we multiply the number of shares by the earnings per share, and we get 912,500. So next step we take and calculate the payout ratio. Payout ratio is the total dividends divided by the total earnings. And as we have above the 390,000 for dividends, we divide that by 912,500, and we get 42.74%. So then we calculate the retention ratio, take 100% minus 42.74%, we get 57.26%. Now we are on to the company's growth rate. The growth is equal to the return on the equity times B, which was the retention ratio. So we look above into the problem, and it says the company also had a return on equity of 18%. So then we take 0.18, and we multiply that by the retention ratio, which we just calculated as 0.5726, and we get 0.131 and 10.31%. So now on to calculating the company's value, the total value of the company's equity. So the total equity value was their $390,000 is your dividend, and then we multiply that by 1 plus the growth rate. So now we've calculated the growth rate, so we have 1 plus 0.1031, and then we divide that by the Reagan's required return rate. That was stated in the problem. We subtract that by the Reagan company growth rate. We just had that, and that was 0.1031, and we get the total equity as being $15,992,899.63. So continuing on to the next one, we have the value per share, and that was the total equity value divided by the total outstanding shares. So we take that number, 15,992,899.63. We divide that by total shares, which is 250,000, and we get $63.97. on the numbers, number 2, they believe that the industry average is the required return that fits more for this company, and then under Dan's assumptions, we're supposed to estimate the stock price. So there was a write-off per share. We need to recalculate the industry's earnings per share. So the industry's earnings per share was 1.24 plus 1.55 plus 1.93. That was all found on the chart or in the reading. And then we divided that by 3, and we got $1.57. And then we used the industry earnings per share. The industry payout ratio was this 0.51, which was back on the graph on the previous page, and we divide that by our new earnings per share, which is 1.57, and then we get 32.42%. We take the industry retention ratio calculation, and that's 100% minus 32.42%, and we get 67.58%. So now we get the industry growth rate as we previously calculated, and we take G equals and then we have 0.1250, and we multiply that by our industry retention ratio, and we get 8.45%. And then we have our growth rate originally, and it says that we have our dividends, and we can multiply the 1.1031 to the fifth power, and we'll calculate the d to the fifth year, and then we calculate d to the sixth year. So we take the df, or the d5, and then we multiply that by our new industry average growth rate, and we get 690,825.86. So now for the stock value in year 5, we take the D6, which was 690,825.86, and we divide that by our industry required return, which was in the graph, and that was 0.1467. And now our new industry growth rate, as we calculated above, was 0.0845. And that gave us a total of 11,106,525.08. So we took used the discounted rate, and we discounted each cash flow, and then we calculated the sum of that. But in the final term, we took the D5, and then we added to the D6, and then subtracted it, so we became the 11 million became the terminal value, and then we divided that by the 1.1467 to the fifth power. So the value of the stock today would be 7,340,349.92. And continuing on the same problem, we have the value per share of the stock today was $7,340,349.92. We divide that by 250,000 shares, and our value per share becomes $29.36. So, what is the industry average price per earnings ratio? What is Reagan's price per earnings ratio? Comment on any differences and explain why they may exist. Under the revised industry earnings per share, industry PE ratio was $22.85. We divide that by our industry earnings per share, which was $1.57, and we get $14.52. Okay, and our original stock prices assumption was Reagan's PE ratio, and Reagan's PE originally was $63.97, and we divided that by the earnings per share, which was $3.65, and that gave us $17.53. No, that gave us a PE of $17.53. Upon correction, Reagan's PE would be $29.36 divided by $33.65, and we get a PE ratio of 8.04. Okay, assume the company's growth rate slows to the industry's average in 5 years. What future return on equity does this imply? Going back to problem 2, if the growth rate for the company was based off the industry's growth rate, it was 8.45%. So the growth rate equals G equals ROE times B, the retention ratio. So our new growth rate was 0.0845, and we're trying to calculate the ROE, and we still have the retention ratio, which was 0.5726, and we divide the right by the left, and we get ROE equals 14.75%. This concludes my calculations. Class dismissed.